Hello everyone, welcome back to another small business vlog. If this is your first time watching me, hi, my name is Alex. I am owner of Smith's Signature Prints, and welcome, of course. And if you are a returning subscriber, y'all already know what time it is. It's time to get to work. So excuse the hair because I really don't have time to like flat iron and get it all dolled up and curled up and stuff for you guys. If you've been following me, you already know I'm a mama 5. I really don't have time to doll myself up, especially when I'm on a mission. I'm trying to be productive. Like, you love me, you don't, you don't. I'm already behind with my Christmas designs. I literally have to get it done today. I was supposed to launch Christmas last month, but if you've been watching me, I had to do so many HCD Ront sponsored videos. It was like back to back to back to back. Now I'm just like, I just need a break to really focus on my business. I'm not only trying to create one Christmas grab bag, but 4 Christmas grab bags. You hear my kids in the background, I apologize. But yes, 4. And I honestly feel like I'm pushing through this process pretty smoothly. Because if you've been following me, I'm an overthinker, and it takes me a while to kind of put a design out because I overthink the process, how it looks. Does it look good? Can I change something? I did not overthink this process. Like literally the first design I came up with, I just stuck to it and I moved on to the next one. So in this vlog, you're going to see a lot of voiceovers. You're going to see me pretty much being productive. I may come on camera to kind of, talk to you for a little bit, but this is pretty much going to be a productive vlog. So you're just going to see me working throughout the day. If you have not looked at my website, probably by today or by the time you watch this vlog, it's going to look completely festive and Christmassy. I'm actually going to go over here and show you the stickers that I actually am going to have on my website for the Christmas winter season, and then we're just going to go from there. All right, so let's get started. If y'all see my last vlog, you know I like to put my family to work because hint is a family business. So my son, my kids never like complain when I ask them to help me. So my youngest son, well, I'm not gonna say my youngest son, but my mid son decided to get on the computer on Cricut, and he is a very fast learner. When I say he was making stickers like it wasn't nothing, that lets me know I'm a good teacher because he was really getting it. So after he pretty much created the die cut stickers for me, I went ahead and printed them out, laminated them, and got them ready to be put on the Cricut. When it comes to actually making die cut stickers, honestly, making die cut stickers is the easiest thing to make when you first get your Cricut. I know it could be like a little intimidating, especially when you're bringing such a big machine home, or even the smaller machines, because you think like, oh my God, I'm gonna mess this up. But yes, I messed up a lot of stickers. Okay, so these are all the Christmas designs that I currently have. I don't have a name for them yet. I have a name for each individual sticker, but for each particular grab bag, I have not produced a name, but of course once it's launched I'm going to have a specific name for them. But these are the 4 that I am going with right now, and these are so super cute. I also created the notepads that I typically would add in my grab bags here, and each one of them have like a little ornament, and I created this in Canva as well, and these are super cute as well. So, and then also I created double-sided bookmarks to go with each one. And I wanted to add an ornament with the Christmas grab bags, and I may have that option, or I might do both, to be honest. I'm trying to find that paper clip, y'all. It's a mess. It's a mess. Where? Okay, so I put it over here. That's where I put it. I wanted to add the little Christmas paper clips, so I wanted to substitute the keychains for the paper clip, and I also wanted to add an ornament, maybe like for $1 more or something, like upgrade to like add an ornament, or I might actually have these separate. If you buy a grab bag, of course it's going to be cheaper to like add this on, but if you just want this separately, it's going to cost more. But these are just Christmas ornaments right here. So these are 2 things that I'm implementing in my grab bags that is new. So I went ahead and finished all of the bookmarks and put it inside of this organizer. If you're interested in this organizer, it's always listed under my Amazon must-haves, which is under every video. Now let's move down to the paper clips. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my HTV Rond Auto Heat Press 2, and it's gonna be for the preset setting. I wanna say it's 4 for sublimation. That's A. Yeah, sublimation 390, 170 as far as the pounds, 40 seconds. So I'm gonna let that preheat up, and I already printed out the designs for the sublimation paper clips, and these are a 4.5 by 2.5, I believe. So I'm gonna let that heat up and get that taped and pressed. In the corner, y'all, my office is a mess. It is a mess. It's always a mess because of my kids. But I did receive this, I did purchase this butcher paper off of Amazon. It's really large, and all I do is just tear off how much I need. And since I'm going to be pressing, like I said, sublimation, I always want to make sure I protect my heat mat. So let me go get the stuff. And since we're pressing this way, we're gonna press down just like this. When I first received this HTV Rond heat press, I was kind of hesitant when it came to sublimation because, you know, you need a lot of pressure, and without the pressure, you're pretty much gonna have a lot of ghosting. And a lot of people complained about the pressure. Even though this does have a way for you to control the pressure, they still said it wasn't enough pressure. So when I used to do sublimation, like the mouse pads, I used to increase the temperature, which actually is a terrible idea. If you increase the temperature on here thinking, hey, if I add more time on the pressure, maybe it'll give me a better result, it actually will burn through the material. I had it burn through a mouse pad like completely. I had to throw it away because the back part of the rubber was literally melting and falling apart. So just go based off of what they say, which is preset 4, 390, 170, 40 seconds. It's perfect. It's perfect. I haven't had any issue thus far when it comes to sublimating this or sublimating the ornaments that I did. No issue. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna put it on auto. Let's press it in and see what we got. Okay, it's kind of stuck to the top, so let's bring it on out. So my iPad actually died on me and I had to switch over to my iPhone. I actually use my Apple devices to record my content. And I know some people like, oh my God, what kind of camera are you using? My phone, my iPad. I don't have the money to really like invest into an expensive like $900 Canon camera, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let me not having an expensive equipment stop me from being great. So I just started vlogging and doing everything that you see in front of you with my iPhone 13 Pro Max, not even the newest one out, and it's always done me so well as far as the quality of the video and everything. And I always do 4K and 60 frames for the actual like the recording format. But the paper clips came out super cute. This is my first time actually sublimating paper clips, and I'm very happy with the results. All right, so these are the designs that I created in Canva. And it's supposed to be like a little ornament coming down, and you're supposed to write in the ornament space. So I'm going to speed this process up because I really need to focus when I'm cutting. So I'll talk to you guys once I'm done actually cutting these out. Right, even though that was sped up, I actually moved pretty fast to get these done because it's time for me to actually take my lunch and it's time for the kids to eat their lunch. So I do have all 4 completed. I'm just gonna put them side by side for you to see them. And like I said, the colors always are so vibrant. I don't, like I tell you guys exactly how to get the vibrancy. I know some of you still have a little issues with it. I know some of you actually use Epson, not Epson, but HPs and Canons, like different types of printers. But if you can invest into an Epson printer, please invest into an Epson printer. You're not only going to save money when it comes to like the ink refills, you're going to get the quality that you're looking for. Look how vibrant these are, you guys. Everything came out perfect. Like I said, I use this to kind of straighten up the papers, but I don't use this to measure. I use the light method, which I do have my ring light right here, actually behind the camera, to kind of help guide the line, because it gives off that 90-degree shadow where the line or where the blade is going to come down, which is easier for me. It eliminates a lot of time for me to bring down the blade and cut. But I'm going to leave these here. I might actually glue these down while I'm on lunch. Look, like I'm at work, y'all. This is a job, shoot. While I'm on lunch, I always use the silicone pad method when I glue and use my my trimmer. So I'm gonna go ahead and stack these up and line them up correctly. Now I always tap it against some type of flat surface to make sure all the papers are pressed down and aligned correctly. I kind of look at it too. Use your eyes, you guys. That's the best thing to use, is your eyes. Sometimes you can't trust the cuts, unfortunately. Sometimes you just have to use your eyes. Let me put this one in front so I can kind of see. And take your time with this, because once you glue it down, that's it. Take your time. I know you guys get anxious about this part. Y'all just ready to glue and sell, but take your time to make sure everything looks appropriate before putting it on your site. Don't just rush to the glue part, like I said, because once you do it, that's it. Then you have to start over and start the cuts over, so you don't want to do that. Stick it under here, add my little chipboard so I don't get that crease. I hold it in place, then I bring the lever down. Once it gets tight enough sealed, then I let it go. Thing like this, and then I use my PVA glue and I paint it, and I put a fan in front of it so it's, you know, it dries within like 15 to 20 minutes, and I come in with a second coat, and then I let that one dry for about a few hours. Okay, this is the glue up close. And make sure that your first coat is thin. And this is, like I said, I like about the silicone mat, because I'm able to kind of move the camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me put it right here. I like that the silicone mat, once it dries, I can just easily peel off the glue. So I don't have to be like, you know, precise when I'm doing this. Just get it done, let it dry, move on to the next batch. I'm doing 4 right now, but I'll typically do like about 8, 6 or 8, I think, could fit under here depending on how many sheets. You can always use a book binder as well if you want to do like multiple sheets at one time, like I'm talking about a big stack. I know from this angle it doesn't look like my sheets are straight, but trust me, once the PVA glue dries, it actually dries, it's very flexible, if you will. So once I actually apply the second coat and remove the notepads and cut them and everything, you can kind of push them back into place to where they're actually lined up straight. If you purchase from me, you can, you know, you would know that I'm not going to sell you guys any like crooked notepads. So I don't want you guys to look at this video and be like, oh my God, her pages are crooked. Yeah, they're crooked right here, but trust me, I know what I'm doing, okay? Found my fan. My husband had it in his man cave. Why he got my little baby fan, I don't know. He need to get his own if he likes it. All right, so now we are moving on to making the magnetic bookmarks, which I know you guys really appreciate and love. I had to turn my ring light on. So I made 3 of each, like I typically would do, maybe 3 or 4 of each sticker design, and I might add some that is similar to the die cut stickers and some that are kind of like in the same wheelhouse of the die cut stickers, like part of the same palette, if you will. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these laminated and get these hooked up to my Cricut machine and get these cut out. All right, so I went ahead, at first I was using my original magnetic bookmark backings, but I wanted to make it like Christmas inspired, so I created these in Canva. I still use the same concept as the other ones, which were these right here. I'll have that tutorial down below as well if you're interested. But I did not show these on camera. My iPad died, so I just pretty much did this while it was charging. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the corners because these are very sharp. So I'm gonna use probably the 4mm. You have to place this in just right, just so it doesn't, like, you know, chip it off. And you, when I mean chip, you already know what I mean by that. It like cuts it off just a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up and clip these while I watch a little movie on my computer. Exactly what I mean. When you move too fast, that's what happened. So just take your time with it when you're doing this. Of course, this is just a magnetic bookmark backing. I really don't mind it on these. Look at this. So when it does that, sometimes the 4mm can be a little tricky. I might do the 7. I feel like, yeah, the 7 always gives me a better result. So I feel like it's trying to like really nick that corner as, you know, as tightly as possible. So I think I'm gonna just do the 7. 7's gonna work better for me. Okay, so I went ahead and created 4 pins, Christmas inspired, to go with each grab bag based off of the color palette of the actual die cut stickers. That's why you see like red and green, and then green and red, and then maybe yellow, and you know, different colors. It doesn't make sense right now just looking at it, but once I put everything in the bundles together, it's definitely going to make sense. So now I'm going to go ahead and log into Canva and do some sticker sheets, and I believe that is the last thing I have to do. Then I can start putting everything together and giving y'all a visual of the Christmas bundles.
So my first batch of ornaments, I actually sublimated it with the wrong time, correct temperature, but wrong time. It wasn't long enough. So I did have a lot of ghosting on, you know, with the first batch. So it was supposed to be 240 seconds for 390 degrees, and I did 40 seconds, which is the standard preset settings for the HTV Ront heat press. And I should have just did a custom and just, you know, readjusted it accordingly, but I didn't. And it's crazy because I did this before with my previous previous ornaments. I was like, okay, how did I get that result? And I could not remember it until I pressed this batch. And I was like, oh my God, I was supposed to increase the time. Oh my goodness. So I tried to repress it again, and now I have that double lining, on the ornament. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to put it on my Christmas tree. Of course, I wouldn't sell this to you guys.
This is what I mean. I'm supposed to be working, but now I have to take a break, get them something to eat, and then go back in the office. And then, like I said, I technically, as you're watching this, I technically is supposed to be off and not doing anything, but it's literally 3 weeks away from Christmas. I already started working on the Christmas stuff, so I'm like, you know what? Let me just put the stuff out there, and if I get some sales, I do. If I don't, I don't. Because honestly, I waited too late to really put it out to really market it the way I want it. But I'm only gonna make a few of each because I'm not sure how many people are going to purchase them. Yeah, so I'm just gonna make probably 3 of each design and be done with it and take my 2 days off.
So now I am pretty much done with everything. Now I'm going to go ahead and start taking my pictures, recording my content and everything. I feel like this part is it slips people up a little bit because they're scared or not even I want to say scared. They just don't know how to properly record things or take pictures, get the proper lighting. And if you don't have the proper lighting, honestly, I'm trying to use my ring light and my office is very dark. So that's why you're going to use certain video editing softwares to kind of brighten up the image. You can even use Canva and things of that nature to kind of get the look you're looking for. And even sometimes I will go outside and get natural lighting. So just kind of work with what you have when it comes to actually taking your pictures, recording your content, editing your content, and things of that nature. You see me playing around with the ring light, like I'm trying to. It has a glare since there's like a laminate on top of the sticker sheets and stickers, which I don't like. So I have to kind of move it around. And sometimes it takes me a while to get the right, perfect angle. But, once I get there, I get there. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for spending the day with me. I actually can't believe I made all of these in 2 days. I'm so proud of myself for not overthinking the process and really trusting my gut on these designs. I really enjoyed making all of these beautiful holiday inspired designs, and I want to thank you all for watching. Happy holidays.